let's talk symmetry. There are three kinds of symmetry that we are concerned about the most. Y-axis symmetry, x-axis symmetry, and origin symmetry. Now, two different tests that we can do. We can do the formal test, which is replacing x with negative x and simplifying to see if they're the same equation. Replacing y with negative y, see if they're the same equation, or doing both for the origin. But we pretty much just always stick with the informal test, way faster, way simpler. So for y-axis, we're just substituting numbers in, x-axis, same with origin, and then comparing the answers that we get. So let's practice this a little bit. Now, one point really quick. They are called informal tests because they are not foolproof. There are very few instances, but there are instances where they don't work. Most of those instances happen if you get 0 as an answer. Because if you notice in these, we're comparing the signs of our answer to see if they're both positive, both negative, one's positive, one's negative. That changes the kind of symmetry it is. 0 doesn't have signs, so you can't really tell. So if you end up getting 0, pick a different number and try again. So let's start with number 2. We're going to do all three types of symmetry, see what it has. But we can be a little tricky here, because if you notice, for y-axis and origin, right here, substitute number and its opposite for x. For y-axis, we get the same y value. For origin, we get opposite y values. So I'm going to test both of those out here. Y-axis and origin. And I'm just going to put a positive and a negative number in. So let's do 3 and negative 3. So I've got y equals 2 times 3 cubed minus 3. And then I'm also going to do y equals 2 times negative 3 cubed minus 3. And then we're going to compare our answers. So first one, I get 3 cubed is 27. 2 times that minus 3. We should get 51. And for the second one, when you simplify that out, should get negative 51. Look at our answers, same number, but different signs. So that means we have origin symmetry. We have opposite y values. Opposite meaning opposite signs, not reciprocals. So this one does have origin symmetry. But let's just check x-axis, just to be sure. So for the x-axis symmetry, we are going to substitute a number and its opposite for y and compare the x values. So we're going to have 2 equals 2x cubed minus x. Let's do 3 and negative 3 again, actually. Just for fun. Bring everything to the same side, so you get 2x cubed minus x plus 3 equals 0. Which you can then use your calculator, type it in like we've been doing in the past, and find the zeros. So if you type that equation in and look at the zeros, you should get x equals 1.289. Then let's do the same thing with negative 3. Bring everything to one side, 2x cubed minus x plus 3. Oops, that one up here should have been a minus 3. Sorry, guys. And do the same thing, plug it into your calculator, should get x equals negative 1.289. Go back to our informal test. They should give the same x value. So if we look at this one, those x values are not the same. They have different signs. So that is not x-axis symmetry, only origin. Okay? Okay, number 3. Do the same thing again. Let's do y-axis and origin at the same time. 3 worked out for us pretty good last time. Let's do 3 again. Y equals absolute value of 3 minus 2. And y equals absolute value of negative 3 minus 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. And negative 3 in the absolute value is 3 minus 2, which is 1. This time we got the same y value. So this is y-axis symmetry. Once again, let's graph with the x-axis symmetry. So we're going to plug in 3 equals absolute value of x minus 2, which would be absolute value of x minus 5 equals 0. And when you can either just think about that logically or graph it on a calculator to be sure to get the zeros. Zeros are negative 5 and 5. And then let's do it with negative 3. So we get absolute value of x plus 1 equals 0. So then our answers. So if you graph this one, there are no zeros, undefined. So there's no x-axis symmetry for this one. The x answers are different. Okay, last one. Y-axis and origin. Actually, I'm going to have you do this one. We did 2 as a class. Why not? So, you do the 2 different tests, see what you get. Pause the video and work it out on your own. Okay, should have gotten that there was x-axis symmetry. Tried y-axis and origin, got 2 different answers, doesn't work. But when we did the x-axis, we get the same exact answer, so there is x-axis symmetry. So, there you go. In the next video, we will talk about even and odd functions.